with what I consider to be the greatest riding in Quebec, with its mountain and rivers and people, its history of patriots. So now I'm a candidate again in this riding. It's not a big surprise. I'm not going to pretend I resisted. I'm very happy about it. It's happening in a day where we can't say that it's banal, because we've just been present for a new wave of rhetoric from the American president. There's nothing really new. The only novelty that I find in it is a quasi-impossibility of putting in practice tariffs in the nuance between assembled vehicles and parts. It's very difficult to tell agents to discriminate between which part of the vehicle was built in certain place and have a variable tariff based on that. So the rest are issues that were well known, that we are supporting once again, and it's so deplorable that we are supporting once again with intimidation, uncertainty. I think it must be denounced. It must be denounced by all political parties and anybody who is interested in the common good. The answers initially were identified. These were counter tariffs, dollar for dollar, to which we add a certain number of precisions. These are offers that eventually the Parliament will have to dispose of. It is essentially based on the revenues of tariffs. So which revenues of these tariffs will start to follow the rhythm of that of America? So it goes from offering transitory liquidity. So this is a demand from the forestry sector in particular to have a way to get through with liquidities. There's a certainty of compensation, so it goes through R&D, it goes through support for the opening of new markets, it goes through an important increase of transformation on the Quebec territory and of course the Canadian territory of our own natural resources, being less dependent of a short-term export of resources. It goes through policies of local purchasing and bringing us back, and this is very fundamental, to the spirit of the beginning of COVID, where all political parties in Parliament had put aside the partisan aspect or the desire of making the other one look bad to make yourself look good, and had put in place some measures unanimously and very consensually. For example, we think that we need to bring back something that in certain measures is much smaller and would look like the salary subsidy, because workers are afraid of losing their jobs and employers are afraid of losing their workers, who will then not come back because may have gotten another job. So the principle that was created during the pandemic that we had supported, the salary subsidy that had worked well. So maintaining that relationship of work through that program rather than going through Social Security, which is more uncertain and creates delays in obtaining the money for workers, which is not great for the economy with the threat of a recession. So we think we need to work on a program that maintains that relationship of work with the workers and maintains the buying power of workers and creates capacity for businesses to relaunch activity very quickly, because we should think that the tariff part of the crisis will soon be, well, soon. It will last a certain amount of time, but it won't last all the term of negotiations, and we think it may finish around mid-2026. So it's the kind of initiative we want to put forward. Once again, we have a common adversary, someone who's unpredictable, who feeds the threats and feeds the intimidation. It's going to be difficult to get back in that spirit of early COVID during a campaign, but I think citizens expect this from their politicians, to be above the fray, and when it comes to a common adversary, to be able to put together the visions of everybody, and everybody being able to contribute to the common vision. There we go.